Hi, Python is the multi-purpose high-level programming language. It is used for the multiple purposes in the IT industry. It has been created in the 1970. It is as simple as an English language. In this course, you are going to learn about the Python from the introduction to the advanced level of the Python also. This course is totally entitled to the people who know nothing about the programming. If you are a very beginner to the Python and not just for the Python, for the programming also, you can always opt for this course. This course we will include the basics of the Python, if condition, else condition, for loop, while loop, iterational statement, conditional statement, operators, logical operators, range function, how to create the list methods, and everything that is necessary to start for the Python. So I welcome you all to this course. My name is Sanjeet Tripathi and let's begin the journey of learning Python. Thank you so much. Either you have to start with the web development, or you have to go for the data science, or you have to go for the machine learning. Python is a very important aspect. For most of the machine learning programs or most of the machine learning applications, the main language that has been used is Python. Even Python is also used for the web development by using one of its framework called Django. Top 5 websites that are created by using the Python are YouTube, Netflix, Pinterest, Spotify and Instagram. So let's see in this video how you will start with the Python, what you have to do to install the Python in your system, and how you will start your first program in the Python. To start with Python programming, you require 3 things in your system. First one is a Python 3. Second one, a Visual Studio Code and any kind of text editor. It can be any kind of IDE, it can be either Eclipse, it can be either any Python simulator. But in this whole course we are going to use Visual Studio Code. Reason being, Visual Studio Code owned by Microsoft. Hence it is used in the wider industry. It's used by the most of the developer and most of the companies. And it is very clean and very simple text editor. So that's why we are using Visual Studio Code, and I will always recommend to use Visual Studio Code for all kind of programming, whether it's Python, JavaScript, anything. After that, we need the Visual Studio Code extension for the Python. So how to install it? What are the things? Let's see. First, you will go to this particular website of Python. The link of this particular website is given in this course. You can find it there. You just go there and just download the Python. Once you will download it, you have to simply install it. Once you install the Python, you have to go for the Visual Studio Code. To go for the Visual Studio Code, you can simply go to your Google search and search for the Visual Studio Code. Other than that, you can simply use this URL, which is also given in this course below. When you will go to this website, you can simply download the Visual Studio for the Windows. If you are working with the Mac OS, you can install the Mac OS. If you are working with the Linux system, you can download the Linux system. But if you are working for the Windows, you can simply download it here in the Windows. Once downloaded and once installed the Visual Studio Code, you will open the Visual Studio Code in your system. Visual Studio Code in your system will open something like this. So, first of all, to start with the Visual Studio Code and start with the Python in Visual Studio Code, you have to install some extensions. So, you will go to this extension, this 4 square icon, you will go here and you will search for Python. I'll search for Python, just click on it and install it. It's already installed in my system, so all you have to do is here you will get the install button and you have to just install this particular extension. Once this extension is started and once this extension is installed, you have to just cross it, and now you have to select the Python interpreter to make your workspace, make the whole environment of Visual Studio Code Python based environment. For that, you have to go to View. Here you will go to the command palette and you have to go to Python select interpreter. It will be showing me like this here, but it will not be in your case. You have to just search for Python and you have to go for the select interpreter. When you click on it, it will be Python 3.10 or whatever the Python version you have installed in your system. Just select that interpreter. Once it is done, you are now ready to start with the Python coding. So in the next video, we are going to start our first program in the Python. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Hi everyone. So let's start with the first program of the Python. So in this tutorial, we are going to create a first Python program that is on the Hello World, and we will also see how you can get an output in the Python programming. So let's begin by creating first Python file. As we all know that the extension for the Python is py. So to create a file, all I have to do is I will write the file name. Let's say this time I'm writing hello world .py. All I have to do is write the extension name, and the whole structure of my Visual Studio Code will adapt the Python environment. So see, Python is a very simple language. It is as simple as English. Just as you write something in the English, you can write something in the Python. So if I have to make some output in the Python, I have to write just print, and then I will write hello world. So this is the hello world. Now I need to run it. I will go run, and I will just first of all run without debugging. No debug. I will just run without any debugging. So you can see I am getting hello world here. So this is the first program of the Python. This is how you print something on the Python. But let's not just leave it on this particular thing. Let's say I'll just show you how simple it is to write something or create output in the Python. So let's say I will write age equals to 10, and then I will write b is equals to 20, and I will write c is equals to a plus b. Now, unlike JavaScript or Java or any other C or C++ language, there is no need of the keyword in the Python. There is no need of to remember something in the Python. You can straightforward just write anything. And here after hello world, what I will give, I will just write here print, and I will write here summation is, I will give comma, and I will write C. When I write C, and let's see again, just run this. I'll just clear the screen here so it will be more visible. Sorry, I'll just run it again. And once I run it, you can see I am getting summation is 30. So all the functionalities are also happening, and some printing is happening as simple as just write the print command and write something inside that. Variable should not be written inside inverted comma, and any other thing that is very constant, that is something you just want to print, is written in the double inverted comma. So that's how the Python works. That's how the output in the Python work. In next tutorial, I am going to talk about how the input in Python work. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, guys. Hi everyone. So in this tutorial, we are going to talk about the variables in Python. Variables are anything that we define in such a way when we are going to give value for something. Let's say if I'm assigning some value to something, that's called the variable. Either that value can be of someone's name, someone's age, someone's percent marks, someone's salary, someone's employee ID, anything, any kind of data, any kind of data that you provide to something, that is called the variables. Now what are the variables, how it works? Let's see. So let's say that if I write here initially, if I write here print hello India. Now if I write hello India and I will just run this program, it will give me hello India, which is very popular, very common thing. So it will give me hello India. Now the next thing what I want to do is, I don't want, this is the static thing, this is not a variable. So let's say that I want to print the age of someone. Let's say I want to print my name and my age. So I will give here name is equals to Sanjeet Tripathi, and then I will give age is equals to 25. Now you can see here, guys, two things. First of all, two things that we need to see here. First of all, I'll just remove all this import and everything. So there are the two variables that I have defined. First is name and second one is age. So you can see this name is a string data and this age is a number data. Just like that, in the Python, we can give number, we can give a string, we can give character, we can give float, decimal points and everything. So let's see it one by one. So right now, if I'll just write here employee detail, comma, name, comma, age. Now these two things I will go for. So first of all, I will clear the screen so that it will be visible properly. Now I again run this program. So when this time I have run, you can see I have got employee detail Sanjeet Tripathi 25. So this is what variable is. But now you have to think one thing about it. There is one variable type that is called the Boolean type. So let's say if I will give here permanent, there are a few things that you need to remember before declaring a variable. So if I will give permanent, if I am giving true or false, so always remember that Python is case sensitive. So case sensitive, unlike JavaScript, Python is case sensitive. JavaScript is not a case sensitive thing. Python is a case sensitive. So if I write here true, you can see that it will give me a error. Okay. So I have to write, whenever I am going to write true, I have to write true in the capital T. Whenever I am writing false, I have to write false in the capital F. So always remember that Python is a case sensitive programming language. Let's see, another thing that you need to remember about the variable declaration is that whenever you are declaring a variable name and you are giving a variable name of the two words, let's say I am giving a variable name with the first name. So if I write here first name, it will give me error. It will give me error. So whenever you are giving any kind of variable name which have the two words in it, always give it a little bit of underscore. So whenever there is a two words you are declaring for the variable, always give the first name. So an underscore between the two words will be there. So this is how we declare variable in the Python. Stay tuned. In the next video, we are going to talk about the input in the Python. Thank you so much. Hi everyone. So in this video, we are going to talk about how to give input in the Python. So to giving input in the Python is very simple. As I have already told you that Python is a very simple language, just like English. So to give input, all I have to give is input. And in the input keyword, I will give what is your name. And then I will give a little bit of space. And we will see later why I have given the space here. So let's see. Let's give here question mark also. Now let's run the program. I'm going to run the program. And see, it's giving me what is your name. And then there's a space when it's asking me to write something here. So let's say I will write here Sanjeet. And then enter. So this name Sanjeet is now stored in my database. It's got stored in my database, but it's not showing here. So if I want to show that, if I want to see that what are the data is storing or data is not storing it properly or not. So in the previous tutorial, I have told you that if I want to store some data, if I want to declare some data, I have to use it as a variable. I have to declare it to a variable. So let's say that statement I have written in the input. I will just give here person name, person underscore name is equals to input what is your name. And after that, I will give here print. And then I will give here the name is, and again I will give space, and then I will use plus sign and I will write person name. What is the plus sign here? Plus sign is here the string concatenation. Concatenation of a string means when we are adding two strings together. So let's run this program again. Let's say I will give here clear screen, and again I will just run this program. So now it's asking me what is your name. Just I will give here, so you can see it's giving me what is your name. I will give here name is Sanjeet Tripathi, and then when I'll enter it, you can see it's giving me the name is Sanjeet Tripathi. That means whatever I am inputting here in the Python, it's getting stored in the memory of Python. So that's how you give input to the Python. In the next video, we are going to talk about the type conversion of in the Python. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, guys. Hi everyone. So as we know that in Python there are four type of data type that is used. First one is integer. Second one is First one is integer. Second one is string. Third one is Boolean. And fourth one is float. Now these are the data type that we usually use in the Python. Let's see first of all an example that why we need the type conversion in the Python, and then we will go to the path that where how can we do the type conversion. Okay, so let's start by taking an example. First of all, I will delete this. So let's say I want to know the employee's age. So I want that employee to enter the age, and then I want that let the system find out the age. So I'll give here input, enter your age, enter your year of birth, and I'll give the space. Now I want user to enter the year of birth, and again I want the next thing is that age is equals to, now this is right now 2022 is going on, minus, and I will just define a variable here. Let's say I will define year of birth, is equals to, and then 2022 means, and then here I will write here year of birth, which is very proper, nothing is different here. Just simply what happened that let's say my date of birth is 1997, so it just minus 2022 from the 1997, and that will come 25. So I am expecting 25 in my input. So let's say I will give here print age. So let's see what it's giving, what it's not giving. So I'll just go here and I will just run it. And when it runs, it's give me enter your birth. So let's say I'll give the birth 1997. I'll enter. See, this is throwing an error. This is throwing an error. And what is the error? First of all, let's see what is the error. It's giving me exceptions has occurred. What is the exception? Type error. Unsupported operand type. This minus is unsupported operand type. Why? Because I am using it for an int. That int means in the Python that is integer, and str is string. So what is the thing? That is 2022 minus year of birth. So what I am actually 2022 is here integer, and I am subtracting a string from a integer. Let's say I am saying that 8 minus Sanjeet. That's exactly what I am doing here. So this is the error that has been thrown. And due to these kind of error, because what happen is, let's say, let's just remove all these things and just give here clear screen and just remove all these things, and I will just clear the screen. Clear the screen. So what actually happened whenever we put some input, whenever the input we are asking from someone, and Python is taking input, Python always take input in the form of a string. So what exactly happening here in my code is, it's actually 2022. When I'm putting 1997, it's 2022 minus 1997, which is totally incorrect. And this will not happen in anywhere. This will not happen in the JavaScript, Java, anywhere. Okay, so to do these things, we use type conversion. So how can we convert the type? So there are some method that convert the type. So simply, if I want to convert something into the integer, all I have to do is I have to write int and then put it into the bracket. Now, again, if I run the program, let's run the program. Program is running, it's giving enter your year of birth, I'm giving 1997 and I'm entering, it's giving me 25, which is very perfect. Okay, there is no error, there is nothing else. Why? Because now this int function is actually convert a number or a string to an integer. So what is integer? It's a whole number. It's converting any number into a whole number. So if I will pass, let's say 101.3, then again also it will just pass 103. So it will always give me the whole number. That is the difference you have to know between the int and the float. Now there is again another thing that is called the float. So I'll just give you here the functions. If you want to change it into the decimal number, that is float. If you want to change it into the string, that is str. If you want to change it to the, let's say, Boolean, so you have to use bool, and in the integer then you have to use the int. So these are the type conversion functions that you are going to use in the Python whenever you want a data type conversion. Hope you understand it. The next tutorial is actually an exercise. So I am giving you an exercise to do and just practice that exercise. In that exercise there will be solution also, but I will recommend that first you apply that by yourself. So that will give you the clear explanation and clear view of the variables or type conversion or anything we have learned up till now. So thank you so much guys. In next video we are going to talk about some more thing about the Python. So stay tuned. Hi everyone. So up till now we have learned about everything. We have learned about the variables, we have learned about how to give input in Python, how to take the output from the Python. We have also learned about the type conversion, how you can convert from the string to integer, integer to character, character to Boolean, everything. We have talked about the type conversion also. Right now in this video, let's start playing with one of the data type, that is string. String is one of the very popular and one of the very most used data type in any kind of language. Either it's in the Java, JavaScript, C, C++, anywhere. String is mostly used. But string has a lot of characters. String can act a lot different than other data types. So let's talk about the string and let's see that what we can do with the string in the Python. So let's say I will give here str1 is equals to my name is Python language. So I am writing here my name is Python language. This is a string. So in the Python, string act as an object. So when I am saying that in the Python string act as an object, it's not like the string act as an object of the programming language like in the Java, JavaScript. It's actually work as a real life object. An object which has a lot of methods, a lot of properties, lot of things. For an example, let's say that you have a TV remote with you, okay, and TV remote has a lot of buttons, and whenever you click on some button, something happen on your TV, okay, some changes happen in your TV. So those buttons are actually called the functionality of that remote. Just like that, in the Python, string has a lot of functionality, but it is only, so how these functionality are different from other. Like we have talked about the print. Print is a functionality, print is a function, input is a function. We have all talked about it. But these are the common function. When some functions which are only particular to some type of data type or keyword or some other things, some particular thing, that function is called the method. So we can say that object has a lot of methods. So let's see some of the methods in the string. So first of all, what I will do is, I will write print str1 dot, and see when I write the str1 dot, it says that it will give me a lot of methods that actually work in the string. So these all are the methods that work in the string, and we will see one or two methods to make it clear that how it works. So let's say guys, I am going to use here str1 dot one of the function called upper. So let's say I am using here upper, and let's see what it will give me in the result. Now after running, you can see that this my name is the Python language. It's all coming in the capital letter. Now again, remember one thing, that whenever we are using the string in any of the programming language, and mostly in the Python, string always will be an immutable thing. Immutable means this str1 is not changing. In our Python memory, str1 is not changing. What actually is happening is that Python is creating a new string and is storing it in the Python memory with the capital letter my name is Python language. The str1 is not changing, a new string always get created. Now let's see some more of the string operations and string methods. Let's say the next method will be find. So find will always return the index of that particular character or particular string which I want to find out. So let's say that I want to find out that I. So what is the position of I? So as we know that string always act like an array, and this is, if I will see here, this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These work like this. Okay. So let's remove this first of all, and let's start by I, and I am writing I, and run this program. See, it's giving me answer as 8 because on the 8th position we have I, and let's see whether it's correct or not. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So we can see that the index of I is 8. So that's how it works in the string of the Python. So the next function, next method which we are going to use in the string is the replace method. So let's say that in your string, if you want to replace some character, how will you do that? So for that I will simply use replace. I will use the replace, and what I have to do in the replace, I have to write I, the thing that I want to replace. Let's say I want to replace age, the whole thing. Age I want to replace with 45. I want to replace age with 45. Okay. Now let's use this. Let's first of all clear the screen so that it will be more visible to you, and let's run this program again. So see, you can see the here string which we are getting. The string here is my name 45 Python language. So we have replaced age with 45. Okay, so that's how replace work in the string. Again, we have a lot of, let's say that if I want to replace something as which is not here in the Python. So let's say I will use how, and how is not in the whole string, and I want to replace it with the 45. Let's see whether it will throw an error or it will do nothing. So I will run it again. Now you can see it's not throwing error. It's simply giving my name is Python language. Nothing is changing. So you can see that this functionality, if you do something ambiguous, it's also not throwing error. It will give simply the same string that you already have. So this is the how you can use the string in the Python. You can also explore different functions, other functionality in the Python. So that's it about the Python, guys. In the next video, we see a lot of concept about the Python. Thank you so much. Hey everyone. So in this video, we are going to talk about the arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators in Python is simply as it is in the mathematics. So it can be an addition, it can be a subtraction, multiplication, division, and all these things. So let's see how we do that and how these operators work. So let's say I will write here print 10 plus 30. Let's run this program. And when I run this program, you can see I'm getting answer as a 40. 40 I'm getting as an answer, which is the 10 plus 30. So that's how it works. Let's say that I will give 30 minus 10. 30 minus 10. Then also it will give me properly everything. So I will run it. And this time it will give me 20 as an answer. So everything is going very perfect. So that's how arithmetic operators work in the Python. Now this is all about this, and if I will give here division, if I will give here this for the multiplication, I will give here this for the division. Now there are two types of division in the arithmetic, and let's see how these things work. So this will not going to be a good example. I will give some example that is not an absolute division, that will leave some remainder and give the decimal point. So let's say I will give 10 divided by 3. So if I am just using one division sign, let's see what it will give me. So I will clear the screen and I will run it again. So you can see that we are getting this time 3.3333335. If I divide 10 by 3 in the Python, I am getting this. Now again the next operator is exact division. Rather than giving just one slash, I will give the two slash here, two division sign. When I will give two division sign, it will give me, and I will again run the program. And this time you can see it will give me just 3. It will just give me 3. So that is what the exact division is all about. Now just like exact division, there is something more that you need to know, like 10 into 3. Now if I will give 10 asterisk 3, it will give me the multiplication of two numbers. So let's see what it will give me. I will again run the program. Now when I run this program, I am getting 30. I am getting 30. Now let's say if I will give two star sign here, two asterisk sign here, it will not give me 30, but it will give me 1000. That means if you want some exponential values, if you want to give 10 to power 3, 10 to power 4, so you will use double multiplication sign. Whenever you use double multiplication sign, it will always give the exponential. Single multiplication sign will give you the multiplication, double multiplication sign will give you the exponential. Single division sign will give you the division, double division sign will give you the exact division. Now other than that, there is a one thing called the modulus operator, which is this percent sign. This will always return the remainder. It will also remain remainder. So what is the remainder when we divide 10 by 3? It will be 1. So let's run and see whether we are getting 1 or not. So we are getting here 1. So whenever we divide 10 by 3, we always give remainder as 1. Now this is one thing, guys. Now there is another way to write something. So let's say that if I will write here x is equal to 10. Let's say I will write here x is equal to 10. Okay. And then I will write x is equal to x plus 3. Now it will, store x value now as 13. But this is the one way to write it. But if I want to write it in the more simpler form, in less coding, what I can simply write it here is, I can write x plus is equal to 3. Now this and x is equal to x plus 3 both are same. And same thing we can do by this, minus 3. So that will minus 3 from the 10. I can give into 3. So that will multiply 3 into 10. And also the division, that will divide 10 by 3. So this is how arithmetic operators work in the Python, guys. In the next one, we will see more about the Python. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. Hi everyone. Let's talk about the operator precedence in the Python. Operator precedence in Python works similarly as it works in the mathematics. So let's say for an example, if I will write here 10 plus 4 into 7. So if you have to calculate it, what will be your answer? So if you will say that it will be 14 into 7, that's wrong, because mathematics work on the precedence, or in the very good language, in the non-layman type of language, we see it as a Bode-Maas rule. Yeah, that means first there will be division, multiplication, then addition, then subtraction. So it will be always 7 into 4, 28, plus 10 is 38. So if I will write here, let's check it. If I write here print and print this whole thing, let's see whether it's coming 38 or it's coming 14 to 7. I'll just run it. It's coming 38. That means it is working as an operator precedence. So that's how we create the operator precedence in the Python. Operator precedence in Python, as I have already said, work as a simple mathematics. We can change operator precedence by giving the brackets. So it always works in the Bode-Maas rule. So if I will give here okay, so it will become 14 into 7. Now it will give me 98. Now it will give me 98, and let's see that it will give me 98 or what. So I will just run this program and see it will give me 98. Okay, so that's how you can create the operator precedence, because, and always remember this thing, BODMAS, and we have learned this Bode-Maas rule since our 3rd grade and 4th grade in the school. Okay, so that's exactly what we work in the Python. So guys, that's all about the operator precedence in the Python. In the next video, we are going to talk about the conditional operator. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. Hi everyone. So let's talk about the logical operator in this tutorial. So as we know, that we have the three logical operator in our programming. So the first one is the AND operator, second one is the OR operator, and third one is the NOT operator. And what are these significance of these operators? So let's see. AND operator means when both are true. Both the statements should be true. OR operator means when any one of the true, any one is true. And what is the NOT operator? When expression is false, expression is not true. So let's see example of all these three operators. Let's say I will write print 10 is less than 30. Now, if I run this program, you can see I'm getting true as an answer. Okay, but let's say I have to compare another statement also. Let's say I have to compare that 10 is between 20 is between 10 and 30. 20 is between 10 and 30. So what I will write, 20 is less than 30. And as I have told you that Python is very simple language. It's as simple as the mathematics. So I will write 20 is less than 30 and 20 is greater than 10. Okay. So if I run program again, what it will happen? See, again I'm getting true as an option. Why? Because both the statements are true. Let's see if I will make it 10 is greater than 20. 10 is greater than 20. So when I'm giving 10 is greater than 20 and again running the program, now only one statement is true. 20 is less than 30, but 10 is greater than 20 is false statement. So again I will run the program. Let's say I'll just clear the screen here and run the program again. You can see I'm getting false because in the AND operator, always both the statements should be true. So next thing is, if I will just make it instead of AND, I will make it OR. Okay, so when I will make it OR, if any one statement will become true, it will always return me true. So let's run this program again. I'll just clear the screen and run the program again. It's true. Okay, though it is running me true. Why? Because 20 is less than 30, at least one expression is true. So when the one expression is true, it always give true. In the OR operator, in the AND operator, when both the statement is true, then it will give me true. And next one and last one is, final one is NOT operator. So if I will give here NOT 20 is less than 30. Let's run this program. Let's run this program. It's giving me false. Why it's giving me false? Because 20 is less than 30 and I'm saying that no, 20 is not less than 30. Okay, so this statement is true and I'm giving it not. And what I have told you, in the NOT operator, always the statement should be false when we are desiring output as a true. So these are the three logical operators that you have to remember and you have to use in the Python programming so much. One is the AND operator, second one is the OR operator, and third one is the NOT operator. Thank you so much, guys. In the next video, we are going to talk about a lot of more concept of the Python. Hi everyone. So let's talk about conditional statement in this video. And in this video, we are going to talk about the if-else statement. How to use if-else statement in the Python. So let's say that according to the temperature, I want to give some instruction to all my users. So let's say the temperature is above 40 degrees Celsius or above 40 degrees Celsius. So I want to tell them that today the weather is very hot and you have to drink plenty of water and stay at home. Okay. So these are the statement that I want to give all my users. So how can I give it by the if-else condition? Let's see. Let's say that here I am giving a variable called Tim and I am giving its value is 40. Then, as I have told you, and I have told you multiple times, that Python is like a simple English language. You do not have to use a lot of parentheses, you do not have to use a lot of different statements or any kind of keywords to perform any action. It's very simple. So all I need to write is if temp is greater than 40, and then I will give a colon, I'll press an enter, and here I will write print weather is hot today. Weather is hot today. Okay, many people have asked that, is it possible that we can give single inverted comma? See, it's your choice. It will if you want to give the single inverted comma, you can give single inverted comma. If I will give you a single inverted comma, that will also work. But why we do not recommend to give the single inverted comma? So let's say if I will have to write it here, like let's say I will write the single inverted comma, and then I have to write it's hot today. Now what will happen actually, the Python will get confused, because for the Python, the single inverted comma will be the end of the sentence. So that's why we always recommend to use the double inverted comma if anytime you want to give a statement in the print. So now this will be okay. Right? So always use the double inverted comma. So let's get back to the usual with what we are printing actually. Weather is hot today. After that, I will write print stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Now these are the two statements that I have printing when the temperature is above 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, so let's start run the program. So I am going to run. Yeah, so you can see that it's not printing anything. Why it's not printing anything? Because the temperature is equal to 40. It's not greater than 40. So let's say I will just increase the temperature. I will make it 45. Now again, if I run this program, now this is giving me weather is hot today and stay hydrated. So this is how if else condition work. This is how if condition work. Now remember one thing, guys, and this is a very important thing that you need to remember whenever you are using if else condition. First of all, indentation. Since in every C type language, either it is a C, C++ or Java, JavaScript, anywhere, if you use if statement, we always create a block. Create a block by using this curly braces. So what we do is actually in other languages, we give curly braces. We give curly braces to make it a block. But in the Python, there is no need of any kind of curly braces or any kind of thing. So indentation matter. This indentation matter very much into the Python. Okay, so you have to worry about it, and you have to make sure that you always give proper indentation in the Python, because in the Python most of the people get the compilation error due to the indentation. So indentation should be there, that is the gap should be there. This gap will make a block of if condition or else condition. So let's say that when the condition was 40 degree, okay, when the condition was 40 degree and I was running this program, you can see that nothing was printing here because the condition was not happening, condition was not there, and this both print statement is in the indentation. So if I want to write something outside the block, what I need to do is I have to press enter, get out of that block by closing that indentation, and if I will write here print have a good day, have a good day. Now when I just run this program, you can see I'm getting have a good day. The condition is failing, the condition is not fulfilling the condition, but still I'm getting this print because this print is outside the if block. Okay, now this is what happened in the Python. Let's say I have to give another condition. I have to give some other condition also. So I have to give else if. Okay, so let's say if I have to give that if temperature is less than 40, if temperature is less than 40, less than or equal to 40, I have to give some other statement. So we directly don't write in the other language, we write else if. For that in Python we have to write elif. Elif is exactly like the else if. Okay, and I will write temp is less than equals to 40, and then I have to write again. See, I have to give a colon, You have to give here colon, and then I have to give here print you are good to go. You are good to go. Okay. Now if I just run this program, let's run this program and I'll run it. When I'm running it, you can see that I'm getting you are good to go and have a good day. So this is how we perform the condition. We perform all the condition and all the if-else condition and all the if-else statement inside the Python. So let's say I do not have to give any condition. It does not have to go for the any condition. Okay. So then I have to use else statement. So I will use else, again a colon, print not sure what weather is. I am writing not sure what weather is. Okay. So what I will do is I will again run the program. Let's run the program. And it's saying you are good to go, have a good day. Again it's saying you are good to go and have a good day. Why? Because still it's fulfilling one condition. But let's say I will just remove this equals to 40. Okay, this remove this equal to 40. If temperature is less than 40, it will be giving you are good to go, and if temperature is greater than 40, it will give weather is hot today. Okay, there is no condition for temperature is equal to 40. Okay, so now if I run this program, you can see I am getting not sure what weather is, have a good day. Okay, because if greater than 40, it will give weather is a hot today. If less than 40, it will give you are good to go. But what if it is equal to 40? Then it will give not sure what weather is, have a good day. So that's how if-else condition work in the Python. So guys, in the next segment of this whole course, you will get a exercise. I will recommend you that you just apply all the concept that we have learned till now in the Python and finish that exercise. The solution of that exercise is given just below that question, but I will recommend first you practice by yourself and then you can come back and see the solution also. Thank you so much guys. In the next segment, we are going to talk about the while loop in the Python. Hi everyone. So in the last segment, we talked about the conditional statement, if-else condition. That was the plain conditional statement when I have to print one statement only based on a condition. What I have to print multiple statement based on a condition. So let's say I have to write, a count from 1 to 5. So what is the traditional method to do that? I will write print and then I will write 1. And now I will repeat it. Okay, so that will take time. So let's say I will write Control C, Control V. So it's 5 times I will write it here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's acceptable if I have to just print 5 times. What if I have to print millions times? What if I have to print thousands of times? Is it feasible that I have to write 1000 line of the code? That's not feasible. So what I have to do? I have to use the while statement. While statement always iterate, always do the iteration based on the condition. So let's see how it happens. So first of all, I will give here n is equals to 1. Then I will give while condition and then I will give condition. N is less than equals to 5. Then same a colon, condition, print I, and then print n, and then I will write here n is equals to n plus 1. Okay, so what's happening actually here guys? The thing that is happening is that n is equal to 1 it is taking and then testing the condition that whether n is less than 5 or not. If the condition is true, then it is printing it and then n is equal to n plus 1. So every time this condition will be true, this whole statement get executed. Whenever this condition will true, until unless this condition will be true, this whole thing get executed. So let's start. Let's run this program and see what we get here. So you can see I am getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, it's not just that. If I will make it 1000, and let's say I will give here underscore, and it there's no need to give underscore by yourself, but it will make it look very feasible, and underscore doesn't matter much. So you can always use underscore between the numbers in the Python. So let's run it again. Let's run it again. So you can see I am getting number till 1000. I can get number till 1 million, and anything I can get. So this is how while condition work. This is how while condition work. You can give any kind of statement in there, and until unless that condition will be fulfilled, it will print things like that. Let's say that what if condition is not fulfilling? Let's say I am getting 5, and here I am giving n is equal to 7. Okay, now run this program again. I'll run this program again. So see, nothing is printing here. Why? Because the condition is not fulfilling. So if the condition is not fulfilling, this whole block of the code is not getting executed. Now it's not just that in the while statement, while you are printing anything, you can give the condition also. You can give any kind of statement expression also. You can print the expression also. So let's say I am printing here star and then star. Now you will say that Sajid, you have already told us that we cannot concat a number with a string. Okay, I cannot add a number with a string, but I am doing it here. So it is possible or not possible? But it is possible, because the concatenation is not possible, but the multiplication is possible. So what it will do, according to the condition, it will print that string that much of time. So always the multiplication of a number to the string is that how many times that string will get printed. Let's see this example and you will understand it automatically. So if I run it, you can see that I am getting 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star and 5 star until unless the condition will become false. Okay, so these kind of pattern you can also print by using the while condition in the Python. So that's it about the while condition. In the next video, next segment, we are going to talk about the list in the Python, and it is very important topic of the Python. So stay tuned and see the next segment. Thank you so much. Hi everyone. So in the last video, we talked about the list in the Python. So how to create a list and how to give all the methods in the list. Okay. So, but in this video, we are going to talk about how you can iterate through the list. So let's say for an example, if I'll create a list here, list 1, okay, and list 1 I am giving here 10, 15, 20 and 25, comma 30. Okay, I am giving this all element in the list. Now if I want to print the list, I can simply give here print and I will write here list 1. Now after writing list 1, if I'll run this program, it will give me the whole array. It will give me the whole array. Now after giving me the whole array, what I will do is, I want each and every element of this list to be printed separately. I want to iterate through each and every element. To do such thing, I have to use the for loop. If you are familiar with any other language, or either it's C, C++, Java, anything, you know that by using for loop, we can iterate through it. But whenever we are giving for loop in all these other language, we use something statement like this. For I is equals to 0, I less than length of array, and then I plus plus. This is what we have to give. But whenever we are using for loop in Python, it's very simple. It's simply like an English language. So in the Python, all I have to do is write for I in list 1 and then colon. After that, I have to simply write print I. Now try to remember this thing. This I here is the index of the list, index of an array. But here this I is actually element of the list, not the index. Here I is the element, not an index. So right now if I run this program again, let's say I will run this program, you can see I'm getting each and every element separately, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, but you guys can get confused that we already have the while loop, so why cannot we use the while loop to iterate through the list? So let me tell that we can use while loop also to iterate through the list, and I will show you how we can do that. Okay, but let's compare it. In the for loop and iterating through the list, it will only take the 2 lines of the code. When I have to do it with a while loop, exact the same thing. I have to write, let's say, first of all, I have to define the variable outside the loop. So I will give j is equal to 0. And then I will write while j is less than length of array. So I have to use the len built-in function len to get the length of list 1. Now once I will get this length of list 1, then I can only write here print, and now this time this j is not the element of the list, it is the index of the list. So I will write here print list 1 j. Now for each and every index I have to print that particular element, and then again I have to write the iteration also, I have to write the incrementation also. So j is equals to j plus 1. Now after writing all these things, again if I run this program, let's say I will run this program again, you can see now I'm getting 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 for 2 times. Okay, so this is how it works. This is how this whole thing works, guys. Okay, so now see the difference between the while loop and for loop. If you will see the difference between both of them, then you can see the whole thing become in the 2 line. What it here is the 4 lines. Okay, so since while loop is very complicated, we always prefer to do the for loop. So that's it about the for loop in the Python, guys. In the next video we are going to talk about the range function. So thank you so much, stay tuned. Hi everyone, so in this tutorial we are going to talk about the range function and the range object in Python. So how it works and what its significance, let's see. So if I have to give the range function, it's very simple. I just simply give here range, and let's say I'm giving 10. So range is just an inbuilt function like import or print. So if I'll give range and then I will give 10, so it will give me stop. Where should I stop? Okay, so this 10 means this is right now giving me the range from 0 to 10. Okay, so if I'll print it, let's say I'll just give it a value, sequence is equals to, and then I'm printing it, print sequence. Okay, now run this program. Okay, there you go. It will be giving me range 0 to 10. See, now whenever I'm giving here 10, that means it's giving me range 0 to 10. It's always returning as an object. It's not returning as a simple individual element. If I want to, need a individual element, I have to iterate through that range. Okay. So how to iterate through the range? In the last video, we talked about the for loop. So for loop is the one of the thing that how you iterate through a range. So let's see how can we iterate through a range. So what I will give here is for number in sequence, I will print number. Now let's run this function. I'll just clear the screen and run the function again. Now run this function and see, I'm getting everything. I'll just give it here. You can see I'm getting everything, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Everything I'm getting from range 0 to 9, 10. See, one more thing that you need to remember here is that whenever whatever the range you are giving, whatever the stop value you are giving, that is always exclusive. Okay, that always get excluded from the range. So it will always give from 0 to 9. Now that's not only the thing that I can give only the final value. I can give the start value also in the range. So let's say if I want that all the number between 10 to 20. So I will give here range 10 to 20. Now when I give the same thing and run the program, let's run the program again. You can see I'm getting 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 10 to 20 everything. So start will be inclusive, end will be always exclusive, excluded from the sequence. Now this is the one thing. Now there can be third argument also here in the range function. First argument is the start, second argument is the stop, and third argument is the step. Step means, let's say that I want the range from 10 to 20, but I want the number with the difference of 2. Let's say an arithmetic progression of the 2 difference, like 10, then 12, then 14, then 16, like this. So I will give here 2. And now if I run the program again, I'll run the program again. See, here I'm getting what? Here I'm getting 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Now this is the one thing in the range function. Now, storing the range function in a variable is not very, very significant or also not very necessary. Like here, I have given here sequence as a variable, but it's not necessary. I can simply here, rather than giving the sequence here, I can simply give here range function. If I'll give here range, and then I will give here 10, 15. Okay, then also it will work. Let's see. So I will just clear the screen, run the program again, and you can see I'm getting everything 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there is no need to store the range function into a variable. You can directly use the range function. So this is how you use the range function in the Python, and this is the functionality which is going to be used a lot of time in the Python, also in the machine learning. Okay, so always remember this concept of the Python. In the next tutorial, we are going to talk about one more concept of the Python. Thank you so much. So hi everyone, as we have seen that in Python we have several types of the data type, like we have integer, we have some string, we have boolean. So we have all these kind of the data types. Either it's a number, either it's a string, either it's a boolean. But these are also called simple data types. But other than that, there are some complex data type, and those complex data type are like list. So in this video, we are going to talk about the list in Python. What is the list and how we can define the list? So list is something like a collection of different data, collection of different variable inside a square bracket is called the list. Okay. So if you are very familiar with any other kind of language like C, C++ or Java or JavaScript, so you can relate list with array. So whatever the array is in any other different language, list is in the Python with some different functionalities. So let's see the list in the detail. To define a list, I can give simply, let's say I will give list1 is equal to, and here I will give some name, list of name, like I will give Bruce, I will give Clark, and I will give Barry, I will give Tony. So these are some list of the name I have given here. Let's print this list and see what is giving us. So print list1. Okay, so I'm going to print list1. Let's see. So run this program. Once we have run this program, you can see I'm getting this list: Bruce, Clark, Barry, Tony. Now let's start doing something with this list. Okay, and see what we can do and what it can be done. So how to get any index of the list? Like let's say I want that what is the third element of the list, what is the first element of the list. So the list, the element and the number of element will always start with the 0, not with the 1. So this Bruce is 0 index, This is 1 index, this is 2 index, this is 3 index. So let's say if I'll write here list 0, and now if I'll run this program again, you can see I'm getting Bruce. If I'll write here, let's say 3. So what it should print? 0, 1, 2, 3. Tony. It should print Tony. So let's run it again and see that it's printing Tony or not. So as we can see, it's printing Tony. Okay, so this is the very similar to the array, but there is one, a special thing that will only happen in the list in Python. It doesn't happen in any other kind of programming language. The negative index. So in any kind of programming language, if I will give here list 1 minus 1, it will throw the error. But in the Python, when I give the minus 1 negative index, it will start counting from the end of the list. So if I'll give minus 1, it will give me, and let's run this program. It will give me the last element like Tony. If I write minus 2 here, again if I run this program, it will give me Barry. So this is how negative indexing work in the Python. So guys, these are the things that are very basics and very important in the list in the Python. And list is the one thing that you are going to use a lot in the Python. So you need to understand this concept very properly. Now one more thing that I really need to tell you about it is this. Let's say I'm just removing all these things, and if I'm writing here list 1 is equal to list 1 of 0, list 1 of 0 is equal to Vanda. Okay, list 1 0 is equal to Vanda, and now if I'm seeing by list 1 and I'm running it, I can see my list has changed. The first element become Vanda, Clark, Barry, Tony. Okay, so now this is what happened. You can change you can replace any kind of word, any kind of element of the list by assigning that particular to that particular index. Okay, to that simultaneous index, if you assign some other variable, assign some other value, it will just change the value in the list. But always remember one thing. If you say the list in the Python is immutable. So let's say if I will print here, so let's say I have to print from the element number 0 to element number 2. Okay, so if I have to do something like that, we have already seen that how can we print only one element of the list. How we can print a small script, a small sub list, let's say, you can see. So for that I need to give my first index where it should start, and let's say where it should end. Always remember, where it should end will be exclusive, so use it properly. When I'm writing third, so whatever come on the third index 0 1 2 3, third index will be exclusive. Okay, it will not be included in the list. So if you want this also to be included, you have to write 0 to 4. Okay, so if I'm writing 0 to 3, let's see. Let's run this program again. And you can see Vanda, Clark and Barry. These three are coming. That means 0, 1 and 2. Alright. So this is what list in the Python, guys. In the next video, we are going to talk about what are the methods that use in the list in Python. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. Hi guys. So as in the previous videos, I have told you that in any programming language, objects are very important. It's in the Python also, object plays very important role. And here in the Python, object acts like a real life object, like your remote, like your mouse, keyboard, monitor, everything. Okay. So every object have a functionality. So let's say that if I will write a string, let's say I will write here Sanjeet. And if after writing Sanjeet, I will give you a dot, I can get all the functionality, all the methods of that particular object. Just like that, our list object has also all kind of methods. So in this video, we are going to talk about the methods in the list. So let's say I will create a list, list 1 is equals to, I think I will give the number. Okay. So let's say I will give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the list I have given. Here we have created a list. So let's say first of all, first functionality that I will do is I will give here list 1 dot, and I have to add a new element into this list. Let's say any kind of element, but it will be added on the in the last of element, okay, as a last element. So for that I have to use the function, the method that is called the append. So after writing list1.append, I am writing here 8. Okay, now just print this list. Now I am printing this list. Let's print this list1. Okay, print this list1 and just run the program. You can see I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So that means by using the append method, I can add any kind of element at the end of the list. Now what if you want to add something on some particular index position? Let's say you want to add something on the start position, or you want to add something on the second position, on third position, anywhere. So let's say rather than writing here this append and 8, I want to add 8 at the start of the list. Okay, so what should I do for that? To do that, I have to use the functionality, the method called insert. And when I give there, see what it's saying me. What it's saying me that what we have to put in this particular braces. So first thing I have to put is index. Okay, so at what index I should put it there? At what index I should put it here? So I have to put at, let's say, starting, so at the 0 index. And then the object. Object means what I want to put. So let's say I want to put 8. Okay, so I have given 0, 8. Now run this program again. I'll just clear the screen and I will run the program again. After running, you can see I'm getting 8 at the starting and 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, same thing you can do, you can do the experiment other also. Let's say I want at the third index point. I want 8 at the third index point. I'll clear the screen and run this program again. Okay, so now it's 1, 2, 3, 8, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is how we can insert any kind of element in the list. Now this is all about the inserting. How about the removing? How I can remove any element from the list? So to remove any element from the list, I have to use a method called remove. So I will give the remove and I will give this here. Now here very give the attention here very properly, that whenever we are inserting element, we have to give the index. Okay, but whenever I am removing the element, I do not have to give the index, I have to give the value. So I want to remove 4. So when I will write 4, that will not remove the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth position. That will not remove the fourth index positioning. It will remove the 4 element, the element having value 4. So I will give it here. I will again clear the screen and run the program. When I run the program, you can see 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. That means this 4 has been removed. This 4 has been removed. Now, this is how you can remove the element. But what if I want to, clear everything? I want to clear everything. A whole list I want to clear. So to delete the whole list, I have to give the method called clear. So if I'll give the clear method and I will run the program again, you can see I'm getting the empty array. I'm getting the empty list. So I'm getting the empty list when I'm using list1.clear. So these are the methods, some of the methods that we use in our application. Okay. So now in our list in the Python. Now this is all done. What if I want to find that this particular element is in my list or not? To do so, I have to simply write an English statement. As I have already told you that Python is very simple language. It can be used as a simple English language. So if I want to know that whether element 4 means an element having value 4 is in my list or not. So all I have to do is write 4 in list1. I have to use the keyword called in. 4 in list1. I'll run the program and I will get true. Why? Because the 4 is in the list. Okay, so I am getting a Boolean value. Now, if I will just write 40 here, I will write 40 here, which is not in my list, and I will again run it. Now I am getting false. Okay, so whenever you want to see that whether this particular element is in my list or not, all you have to do is you have to use the in keyword. Now, how to know the length of the list? What is the length of the list? So for that, you have to use a built-in function that is called the len. Okay, how to use the len function? The function called len. Okay, so how to use the len function is simply I will give here len. I will give here len, and I will give here list 1. Okay, once I will give the list 1 and I will run this program again, you can see I am getting the length as a 6. So which is 6. 6 is the length of my list. Okay, so these are the methods of the list in the Python. There are one or two more methods that we can explore, or you guys can explore on your own. Okay. So in the next tutorial, in the next segment, I'm going to give you a simple exercise. So solve that exercise by your own. After the exercise, you will get the solution of the exercise also. But I will recommend that you go by your own. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. In the next video, we are going to talk more about the Python. So in this tutorial, we are going to talk about the tuples in the Python. Okay. So tuples are very similar to the list. Okay, almost it's very similar to the list, and all the functionalities are also similar to the list. But there is one difference between the tuples and the list. Tuples is immutable. Once you define a tuple, once you create a tuple, you cannot change value of the tuple. So let's say if I have to define a list, I can define, let's say I will just give you a number. Okay, so if I define a list, I can simply give here 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the list. Okay, now the difference about declaring and defining a tuple and listing is just one slight difference that you have to remember. When there is a square bracket, that means this is a list. When there is a parenthesis, that means a round bracket, then that means this is a tuple. That's the only difference between a tuple and a list. Okay. Now, as I have told you that tuples are immutable. So, if I want to assign it like number 0 is equals to 7. Okay, and now I try to print number. Okay. Now run this program. I'll just run this program and let's see. So you can see it's giving me the error. It's giving me the error. And we can see what's the error. So it's giving me the error, tuple object does not support item assignment. That means you cannot change the value in the tuple. As I have already told you that tuple is immutable. There is a difference between the tuple and a list. Now let's remove this. Now let's see what are the functionalities in the tuple. So first of all, first functionality is number dot. Now like list have a lot of methods, but in the tuple there are only few methods, and the main methods are count and index. So count will count the number of the element that occur in a tuple. So let's say if I will write 3, it will return me 1 because 3 comes one time in the whole thing. Okay, so let's continue it. Let's run it. Let's clear the screen and run it again. You can see 3 comes for the one time only. Let's say I will write here 4, 3 again. Again, if I run this program, you can see it's giving me 2. So the count will count the element, that how many times this element occur in the tuple. Okay, and the next thing is index. Index will give you the index of any element. So let's say if I'll give index and just run the program. It will be 2. Why? Because 0, 1, 2. On the second index position, this particular element 3 has been occurred. Okay, so that's it about the tuples, and tuples is also very advanced topic of Python. So in the advanced programming with Python, you will see the tuples in very detail. Okay, so guys, that's it about the Python, and I hope you learned a lot about the Python, and after this you will be able to create any kind of program by using Python. You have learned all kind of concept of the Python that are very basics, and you can use iteration, you can do looping, you can do all kind of conditional statement, all the operators, assignments, all these things you can used now in the Python. So I hope you learned a lot in this whole course. In the comment section or in the groups of the Python, you can ask any question about the Python. Okay. So thank you so much for joining this course.